When the reach of doctors break, why every family needs to be its own first responder. Now, this blog post started from an email I recently received, and I get a lot from this particular individual or group. And these messages always carry the same urgent theme. The government is failing, the system is collapsing, and if you don't act now and buy my $37 PDF, you will pay the price. Now, the latest claim was that his brother died, not from illness, but from the ripple effect of a 40-year-old policy decision made back in 1981. Now, I get emails from this group often, and while they are clearly written to provoke fear, they're total fear mongering. I believe that there's value in pausing to research the claims, separate fact from rhetoric, and uncover what lessons families can actually take away. And based on the theme of this letter, I decided let's look into it quite simply because I've been hearing this same story elsewhere, though not quite in a fear-mongering method. So the truth is, our healthcare system is strained. There is a doctor shortage, and family preparedness are two realities we just cannot ignore. Now, whether or not the email story is literal, the underlying point is true. There are not always enough doctors, nurses, or hospital beds when disaster strikes. From the wildfires in California to the hurricanes in Florida, we've seen how quickly access to care can disappear and when systems are overwhelmed. And when that happens, families are left with one option. They must become their own first responders. So I'm not going to sit here and read this whole blog post to you. I'd like you to go to it. If you're watching this on a different platform, go to emergencyactionplanning.com, www.emergencyactionplanning.com, and you'll see this post right at the top. It says, when the reach of doctors break. But in the meantime, I'm going to tell you what we are going to cover. We're going to look into what the growing doctor shortage is really all about. We'll be looking at some real examples of the healthcare system collapsing. Now, collapse might sound dramatic, but there are recent historical observations that give us some sobering reminders about how disasters strain or break local healthcare systems. We're particularly going to look on two sides of the coast, California and Florida. So after we look at these things, we're going to do some other stuff. We're going to discuss why is it important for you to be your own first responder? Well, let's be real here. You are your own first responder, and the actions you take in a medical emergency will have a direct impact on the outcome. Now, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not giving you medical advice, but the facts are that we need to have some level of medical competence to prepare ourselves, our family, and our loved ones for what's going to happen in the future. We're going to look at some practical steps that you can take toward being prepared. But again, like I said, this is not medical advice. This is really an urgent call for ongoing education. Please educate yourselves, your children, your family, your loved ones. Learn CPR, first aid, and disaster readiness. These are critical parts of a responsible family disaster management plan. They are not a replacement for professional care, though. They are vital skills when the system fails or is delayed. So in conclusion here, the California wildfires, the Florida hurricanes, hospital closures, global pandemic have shown us all how fragile access to medical care can be. And when the system hiccups and falters, when ambulances cannot reach you, when the ERs are closed or overwhelmed, the responsibility for the first critical minutes falls on us. That definitely does not mean giving in to fear. Preparedness over panic. It means equipping ourselves with knowledge, training, and the confidence to act. Learning first aid and CPR, building an emergency kit, and developing a disaster family plan are just checklists. But there are investments in resilience, and I recommend you use those checklists and set up a plan of action to train yourselves and practice what you're training. Because the bottom line is when something happens, we will not rise to the occasion. We will fall to our level of preparation. So down at the bottom, there's a lot of resources and further reading. That's right. I went into a deep dive on real life resources that you can look at to confirm or deny what I'm saying here in this blog post. I want you to. I want you to discover what's really happening so that way you can make a educated decision, not an emotional decision. Although loving my children is emotional, so I'll make an educated decision to prepare them and prevent them from coming to harm. So till next time, please stay informed and stay safe and take advantage of downloading the Family Emergency Kit Checklist. There's a wealth of information I'm not going to get into. There's a link down at the bottom of the blog post. It'll take you to a landing page. Landing page will tell you what you're going to get. You're going to throw in an email address. You'll get all that information I promised you. Remember, you are your own first responder. This is Daniel. Till next time, please stay informed and stay safe.